Hello, I'm Bob Schieffer, and welcome to the CBS Evening News Online edition. Just ahead, the path of Rita. John Roberts has details of hurricane preparations all along the Texas Gulf Coast. Also, some of New Orleans' levees fail again, reflooding neighborhoods only recently dried out. Sharon Alfonsi has that story. And a new movie by Tom Hanks takes viewers back to the moon. And for NASA, the timing couldn't be better. It's all starting now on the CBS Evening News Online edition. It has not hit land yet, but already Hurricane Rita is wreaking havoc and death just southeast of Dallas. More than 20 elderly people were burned to death when the bus in which they were being evacuated exploded in flames. In New Orleans, a levee breached by Hurricane Katrina gave way again after heavy rains spawned by Rita drenched the city and reflooded areas that had just been pumped dry. The storm did weaken a little as it turned across the Gulf of Mexico, but it is still a Category 3 hurricane with winds of 125 miles an hour. Hurricane warnings are up along much of the Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coast and is now most likely to hit land early tomorrow in the area marked in red. We have our CBS News hurricane team deployed throughout the region tonight, and we begin with John Roberts in Port Arthur, Texas. John?
And good evening to you, Bob. We are in the heart of the hurricane strike zone tonight, the heart of oil country, and the place that Rita is most likely to hit in just a few hours' time. As you can see, we're already getting a pretty steady blow at this point. Most of the 58,000 people who live in Port Arthur have cleared out, and now the storm is moving in. Rita began pounding on the door of southeast Texas late this afternoon. The surf building ahead of a storm surge forecasters said could top 15 feet. Parts of Galveston Island are already flooded. It was a busy day for the Air Force, evacuating the last sick and elderly residents from the bullseye of the hurricane zone. By midday, local police here said everyone who wanted to go was gone.
I've lived here all my life, and I'm expecting it not to be the same place when I come back.
The roads out of harm's way were still jammed today as criticism of the evacuation grew. Many people complained there was no plan. Some state officials said despite urgent warnings to get out, they never expected this many people to go.
I wish I could wave a magic wand and somehow transport people magically from Houston, Texas to Dallas or other points, but that's not the fact.
Houston, the fourth largest city in America, has been turned into a ghost town, as has Port Arthur, where the storm surge is expected to top the flood wall. But some diehards stayed put. Charles Bird saw what happened to pets after Hurricane Katrina and is determined to take care of his dog.
What if your house fills full of water? Where are you going to go?
Well, I'm looking at the porch over that's higher than mine. I said we just go sit over there,
Dallas Clavel is staying put to protect his store. After the looting he witnessed in New Orleans, he's not going anywhere.
I'm not going to take the law in my hand, but I'm going to protect what is mine. That's all I can do.
The devastation from Hurricane Rita will be local, but its impact will be felt on a national level. And that's the reason why this area is home to the greatest concentration of oil refineries of any place in the country. Nearly a third of all the gasoline that we use every day comes from places like this.
In fact, Rita's path is taking it right over the heart of the entire Gulf Coast oil industry, aiming not just at refineries, but offshore platforms, mobile drilling rigs, ship terminals. But as the storm swings away from Houston and weakens a bit, the oil industry late today took a cautious breath. It will be bad, but not the catastrophe that was expected, predicts analyst Peter Butel.
We've dodged a bullet in a way by having it miss the Houston ship channel. We still are going to take some damage, but instead of this being a dagger through the heart of the energy business, this is only going to be a glancing blow, it looks like.
It's already clear that even a glancing blow from Rita was enough to cause more flooding in New Orleans. There's even a danger of tornadoes there thrown off of this hurricane. As the mayor of New Orleans put it today, Rita is adding insult to injury. Sharon Alfonsi is in New Orleans tonight.
This is New Orleans, and these aren't last month's pictures. Today, water cascaded out of the canals and back onto city streets, covering cars and buckling already battered homes with more than 8 feet of water.
there's been a breach or an overflow on the levee.
With waterfalls 30 feet wide, it was hard to tell if the problem was water flowing over the levees or if they'd simply cracked.
We got a rubber wheeled end lower. You need to run it down here too.
At least 3 levees in the city were covered, and with Rita's rain still coming down, engineers were scrambling to keep a close eye on the health of a handful of others.
That was a goner.
The 9th Ward of New Orleans was one of the hardest hit by Katrina. No residents have been living here. But Rita moved right in, working her way through the neighborhood's back streets like a local. Yesterday, this neighborhood was bone dry. The levee broke, and now, just 3 hours later, the water is up to my knees and rising fast.
They tell me we have 24 hours more before Rita comes on shore.
Engineers were powerless to help. The winds were too high to have helicopters drop sandbags.
Staying around 30, and then it's gusting up and then coming back down.
So Mother Nature took her course. Another rowdy visitor, leaving another wake of destruction as she passes through.
Was this the worst nightmare that you guys had?
I've never seen anything like it.
And it could get worse. The wind and rain is expected to continue through the night, pushing more water through the city, soaking New Orleans for a second time.
A satellite looking down from space took a picture today of Hurricane Rita. The storm is so huge it almost covers the entire Gulf of Mexico. Which brings us to our final story tonight about another view from space. A new movie looks back at the days when America put men on the moon, something NASA wants to do again. Here is Jim Axelrod.
If they seem a little unfamiliar with all the flashing, the fawning, and the red carpet, they're astronauts, not actors. And it's been a while since they were the most glamorous guys going.
We were at one point, yeah.
What happened?
We got to the moon.
But a new IMAX movie from Tom Hanks, Magnificent Desolation, is seeking to reacquaint us all with the wonder.
Once humankind has been someplace and found it entrancing, they always go back. I think in the history of the human race, the moon has been the first place we've gone to that said, okay, we don't need to go back there again.
Hanks has taken original Apollo pictures and married them to new 3D footage to give to millions what only 12 actually had, the feel of walking on the moon. Walter Cunningham flew an Apollo mission, but never set foot on the moon.
It really made me feel bad that I didn't get there. I mean, so that's how good it is. And I haven't had those pangs of envy now for a long time.
The movie's timing couldn't be any better, with NASA now spelling out plans to put a man back on the moon by 2018. But it's not rocket science to know the quickest way to derail a dream is to put a price tag on it.
Returning to the moon is an important step for our space program.
No matter how widely the dreams are shared, the parades of yesteryear, when Tang ran through an entire culture's veins and Walter Cronkite spoke for everyone, will run smack into big-budget items like rebuilding an entire region of the country. Which one wins the day is more than just a matter of reigniting passion on an IMAX screen.
And it is meant to make people think, how in the world did we do that? And isn't it a marvelous thing that we did?
And maybe we should do it again?
Well, the questions would be why.
For more than 40 years now, that question's been answered the same way by space lovers.
It's our destiny to explore. It's our destiny to be a spacefaring nation.
An idea presented again now by one more dreamer, hoping to keep the last frontier from becoming the lost frontier. Jim Axelrod, CBS News, Washington.
More stories are just a click away, but don't forget to join me on television for the on-air edition of the CBS Evening News. On Monday's broadcast, complete team coverage of Hurricane Rita and a look at whether FEMA money is actually getting to those who need it most.